Hello, my name is Jenny Connor, and these are my two girls, June and Dottie. We have lived in the Union area for about 6.5 years now. We moved out from the suburbs to get a little chunk of land to garden and enjoy the solitude and peace of living in the country. Recently, I have been concerned about an issue with toxic waste being dumped in a landfill. As a mother and a citizen, I'm very concerned about that. When I first heard about it, it didn't make any sense to me why that would even be brought up in the first place. With all you hear about in the media and the news about levees breaking and failing, all the stuff that went on with New Orleans. I lived in the O'Fallon area way back when we had the flood of '92, and I think there's a lot to be said about the power of water and how you just cannot control that. So putting it in a floodplain, I'm very concerned about that. I'm very concerned about the quality of drinking water for my kids. We use a lot of water. They bathe in it. We wash dishes. They play in the pool. We drink tons of water. I come as a concerned mother. I speak for many others in the community, and I'm concerned about the other people, in St. Louis and St. Charles and Warren. They can be affected too by this. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Patricia Shuba, and I live in Labadie, Missouri. And our family has been in eastern Franklin County, actually on the same property where we are today, for about 130 years. So we've been long-term residents of Franklin County. My background is healthcare and science, and I found out about the issue of the landfill in Labadie and the Labadie Bottoms through my nephew's teacher, who is in St. Albans, and told me that this was occurring, and would I take a look at some articles on coal ash. And to tell you the truth, before that I had not thought a lot about coal ash, even though I grew up 3 miles from the current impoundments that have been there for about 40 years. And as a biologist, as I read the information about coal ash and what is in coal ash, the toxic chemicals, heavy metals, things that are radioactive, dioxin, I became extremely concerned. And then I started looking at the EPA documents about the actual impoundments and the operations in Labadie and became even more concerned. So I had to become an active member of LEO, Labadie Environmental, so that we could let our county officials, our state representatives, and literally our EPA at the national level know that we're concerned about how these chemicals are handled in communities. And that's because it's an issue of pollution, of externalizing the cost of the energy we're using. And I think we need to come to logical solutions. LEO and people like myself are about solutions. We want clean energy, we want productive businesses, we want communities that we want to live in, and we want our kids to be healthy. We want communities that support businesses, that support our objectives as a community, and I think we can have all of those things together. We don't have to be environmentalists pitted against business. I think looking into the future, Missouri and the United States are looking for more positive solutions than that. And I think this is an exciting group and an exciting time because we're asking for those solutions and we're providing the political pressure to make that happen. So I feel very positive about that, and I'll stay involved with LEO.
Hi, my name is Jerry Friedman. I'm a retired pediatrician. My wife and I have lived in Labadie since 1993. When we first became aware of the proposed landfill, I started reading some of the literature that was being put out, and one of the comments which threw me a loop was issued by Ameren, which said this material is not toxic. Several factors need to be mentioned without equivocation. Number one, no one denies that coal ash contains heavy metals in various levels, and that these levels and these heavy metals are potentially toxic. But several things have come out in the last few years which make it even more significant. Number one, we do not know anymore what the MLD, the minimal lethal dose of any of this material is, or the LD50, which is the lethal dose that kills 50% of people. Studies have shown that the previous levels were improperly done, and that these levels may be significantly lowered. And to confirm this, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the Academy of Obstetrics and Gynecology, the Organization of Concerned Physicians, and the American Medical Association unequivocally have said humans should not be exposed, even in minute levels, to these toxic materials. And as such, it is just beyond comprehension that we would be placed in the position, a vulnerable position, where this material could be deposited in a floodplain, where it could enter the water, to the drinking water of whole communities such as St. Charles, St. Louis County, and on and on. There has to be, and there must be, a more appropriate way, a safer way of dealing with this material. None of us would presume to deny Ameren the necessity for disposing of this waste, but there has to be alternative ways which will protect the environment and, most important, protect the citizens.
Hi, I'm the other Jerry Friedman. I'm Dr. Friedman's wife. We do live on Grand Army Road, not quite within sight of the Ameren plant in Labadie, but close to it. And I think for that reason, I was drawn into the issue, not realizing in the beginning how terribly complex it is and how very much there is to learn. I'm still acquainted with only the tip of the iceberg. Lots more. And through the help of Leo, we are kept informed with other agencies across the country that are investigating the coal ash issue. And we also feel very strongly that it is an opportunity to be a leader for the nation. The community of Labadie has come together in Leo. We have such diverse people in our group from all walks of life, all ages, and it could be carried through to the entire community. We certainly welcome anyone who would like to come and get informed and join us. Of course, we are working at this moment with the county government. We are hoping that we can get them to slow down the process of changing zoning, which would frankly have to happen in order to allow the landfill to be built in the bottoms. If we can get them to slow down, perhaps they would first spend more time to educate themselves, but to call in experts. We've suggested that they form an advisory committee to look at this issue and to help them understand all of the ramifications before they make a decision on whether or not this landfill in floodplain should be allowed. I would like to mention that the Environmental Protection Agency, the federal government, has for the last few years been considering the issue of coal ash. They have opened the door for public comment before they make a ruling, which should happen in a couple of months. I believe public comment is open until November, and they would make a decision on their rules for managing coal ash nationwide. I understand that that ruling should be made by the end of the year. It'll impact everything that we have been talking about locally with the county, but nationwide as well. It would be well for the county government to wait and see certainly what the new rules of the game are going to be before they jump into the game. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Myron Bernard. My wife, Elsie Roth, have lived in the Labadie area for 13 years, have become very attached to it. I want to share with you what the county has started in 2007, which is the Labadie Great Street Initiative. Through their efforts, they've obtained funding for the design fees and a funding source for the actual construction. We're talking about $3 million plus will be spent to dress up, make Franklin County's Labadie area a drawing card for the entire metropolitan area. Included in Labadie is the only paved street access to the local electric utilities main gate. If the landfill is allowed by Franklin County, the truck traffic will probably increase substantially. Here we are with a nice dressed up area, and trucks could be running at worst case scenario of maybe one every minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. This would add air pollution, noise pollution, and just take away and distract from what the county's been working so hard and its citizens in the area to develop. And that's the concern that we have on the Great Street Initiative started by the Franklin County Commissioners.
Hi, my name is Kay Genovese. I live on ground in Labadie that my father purchased, almost 50 years ago. And I simply am just babysitting that ground for my kids. It was left for all of the grandchildren. So my husband and I are just maintaining it in the hopes that someday, if the kids need it, it's there. So of course, I would like for the value of the land to remain as it has been in the past. I am involved in the Leo group for that reason, and also because when all of this first came to our attention, over and over again I kept hearing people say, the county officials don't care. The county officials aren't going to pay attention. The county officials will cave to Ameren. And I kept thinking, not on something like this. This is way too important, way too dangerous. So I'm involved in Leo, hoping to help the other much more articulate and knowledgeable Leo people, help them work with the county officials. I know that the county's working on the master plan, and I believe that one of the questions on the master plan was, how do you feel? Do you think the county officials listen to us or whatever? That question, I believe, 90-some% of the people said they feel like there's a real disconnect. So I would really like to encourage any teachers in the Franklin County schools, high school and grade school teachers, any students, if you could do some research and look on the website, the Leo website, look up coal ash, Google it. It is a huge national issue right now, and Franklin County at this moment in time is in the middle of this storm. We felt like with all the publicity of the Tennessee disaster, the British Petroleum disaster, we thought, gee, we've got the perfect arguments at the perfect time in history. So it's been a bit of a struggle getting the county officials to pay attention and work with us and realize that this really is a major issue. And I think if everybody could help with getting themselves educated and educating the county officials, I think it would be an awesome thing. Thank you.